Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla. Tesla has come out with the long-awaited refreshed Model 3, and mainstream media seems not to understand what just happened and the implication that this will have on the Germans, because Tesla just made a devastating blow to the German car industry, and Volkswagen is in big trouble in my opinion, as Tesla within a couple of years will become the new people's wagon, as Volkswagen's EVs are now embarrassingly expensive compared to a Tesla, and this will only get worse. So let's check out how the new refreshed Model 3 is winning the hearts of most reviewers, and how it is taking a direct punch at BMW, Mercedes and Audi, but indirectly punching Volkswagen directly in the kidney. The German automakers are in serious trouble. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So we finally learned a lot more about the refreshed Model 3, like Marcus Roffi said on LinkedIn that he was finally able to talk about it. And as we have already talked about, the goal for Tesla with the new refreshed Model 3 was to premium up the entire vehicle, and it was an amazing opportunity to have to step change in perceived quality, as he wrote. So they have really tried to give the Model 3 what many have been asking for: more quality. Yes, it is in the premium segment, but has not been able to come out with something as premium as the German automakers, and therefore many have said it is not in the luxury segment. But that is exactly what Tesla is targeting now, and it sounds like from all the reviewers, from Fully Charged, the Car Wow and much more, that they have really nailed this one. The quality and premium aspect of the car seems to have become very good, like the noise reduction in the cabin, not just from the sound insulation glass all around the car, but also using some premium materials inside the car that absorbs more sound as well, just like we know from the S and X. And it sounds like they have also nailed the better feeling of the quality of the material inside the car, and the sound of the door closing, something I know many Germans really like that quality test, the sound of the door closing. Well, here you go, better sounding doors.
That is quite chunky.
But Tesla also added more visible changes to premium up the car, such as ambient light inside the car that you can change to your preference, and the new beautiful screen for the back passengers, and ventilated seats in the front, which measure the temperature of the passenger and the driver's back and adjust the airflow accordingly to always have the perfect temperature for your back. Very nice. And the sound system that is already insanely good in the Tesla cars gets an even bigger boost, with even more speakers and more bass in the refreshed Model 3. Even Tesla's industry-leading quality screen in the car even got a bump up, with a little bigger screen, as the bezel was a little smaller, and the screen is even more responsive now. Compared to pretty much any other screen in any other vehicle on the market, Tesla has just some of the best screens. Even in my 4-year-old Tesla Model 3, the screen still feels great, much better than anything I have ever tried in a Porsche Taycan or Mercedes EQS even, much more plastic feeling and lacking responsiveness. So it really seems that Tesla has knocked this one out of the park. As every reviewer said, this is the best in class, something you should just go ahead and buy.
Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, when you consider that the old Model 3 was still at the top of its game, this one is even better. So the verdict is easy. You should go right ahead and buy the new Model 3.
Nothing from the Germans is better than this premium electric sedan. And remember, all Tesla comes with the autopilot as standard. Tesla really made something that is up there with the Germans in quality and premium feeling. The one thing Tesla was lacking a bit behind before is now getting close or even on par. And the crazy thing is, even though the new Model 3 has got so many new things that more reviewers are saying this is not just a refresh but a completely new car that just looks like the old one, it is still the same price, or just a couple of $1,000s more. Very, very impressive. Probably because they have taken much of what they have learned with the production of the Model Y and put it into the Model 3. But still doesn't seem there is gigacasting, so there are still a lot of improvement in cost to gain for Tesla in the future. And as I said in my short video when Tesla revealed the refreshed Model 3, I simply think this is because ITRA cannot keep up with delivering enough gigapresses for Tesla, as they have already ordered a huge amount for Berlin and Texas for the Model Y and the Cybertruck. So I think Tesla had to stick with no gigacastings for the Model 3 for now, but that does not mean that the efficiency and cost of producing the car has not come way down with this new vehicle. Just as we saw with the refreshed Model S Plaid, Sandy Munro teared down and said this was a completely new car underneath. Nothing looked like the old car, but still the Model S also had no gigacasting. So I still think we will find a completely new car underneath the Model 3 as well, making the cost to produce the Model 3 compared to the old one much cheaper for Tesla, even though they bring a much more premium car to market. And there is of course one model missing from the Model 3 lineup, and that is the performance version. Seems odd that that is not part of the first versions, as that is the one with the highest sticker price and usually is first or part of the first models that comes to market. I think it's because they have something special planned for that version and might want to hold that back until they are ready to release it in the US as well. Maybe they have made a plaid version. That would be awesome, or something special for the performance version this time around. But even without that version, the two models they have now is going to be a devastating blow for the legacy automakers, not just for the Germans, as Tesla is now pretty much on par with them in quality and premium feeling inside, but Tesla still has better performance, safety, software, charging infrastructure, and a much lower sticker price. So even for someone like BMW, Mercedes and Audi, I think this car spells trouble for the old legacy automakers, as you cannot get a BMW that can match this refreshed Model 3. Like the i4 would probably be the more direct competitor. I think that is personally looking very nice. I don't like the big nostrils, but other than that, it's a very good looking car and by no means a bad electric vehicle. But if we compare it to Tesla, they do fall short. If we take the BMW i4, the long-range version, and compare that to Tesla's long-range version, well, the ID.4 does charge slower, has 100 kilometers less range, and is about 1.2 seconds slower from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, and the BMW, you will only get rear-wheel drive, and not all-wheel drive as you do with your Tesla. And with the BMW you only get a little horizontal plastic screen, not really good for big navigation maps or entertainment like Tesla's big beautiful quality screen in the middle of a car. And don't forget, with Tesla you also get the big screen in the back for rear passengers as well. With the BMW i4 you get good old school ventilations. Oh yeah, premium. I couldn't even find any options for the ventilated seats in the i4, so another plus for Tesla there in the premium segment. But where it gets a little scary for BMW is the price, as you can get here in my country at least the Tesla Model 3 for about the equivalent of $20,000 cheaper than the BMW i4. And that is before you add all the extras you can get with the BMW. Also, to get it more on par with the new refreshed Model 3, you can easily double the price of that car with all the extras BMW is offering. But the minimum is $20,000 more expensive. But as we can see, you get much more with the Tesla Model 3. Even the many reviewers are saying this is the best in class. The value for money for the Model 3 refresh is insane, And remember, in the not so distant future, you will probably be able to get Tesla's full self-driving beta, but just not in beta anymore, so a much better than the mind-blowing driving we are seeing right now from the version 12 software. The Model 3 will also be able to do that. The BMW by today will never be able to do that. And the safety assist feature scores are just embarrassingly low for the BMW, with only 64% from Europe NCAP. And the BMW doesn't even get 5-star safety ratings. Very embarrassing, BMW. And with the Tesla is of course top in class, where Tesla's old 2019 Model 3 got 94% in safety assist features, and as we know, it is just one of the safest vehicles on the planet. The value for money in this Model 3 is just beyond ludicrous, and that goes for the other German automakers as well. I personally think the Audi e-tron GT looks very nice outside, but when you get yourself inside that car, it feels so outdated with small touchscreens and mini buttons. It is so old school. Just look at this good looking rear ventilation system. Wow, high tech, premium quality there. And that car is about 3 times as expensive as the long range Model 3. And will probably still be at least twice as expensive as the upcoming Tesla Model 3 Performance when that comes out. I mean, Tesla fan or Audi fan puts aside, looking at this from a perspective of value for money, the Germans are not even competition anymore for Tesla. It's a better car for a cheaper price, and the Germans can't lower their price as they're already losing money on them. Not even if we look away from the premium brands and look at the people's wagon, Volkswagen. If you take their best ID3 model, the ID3 Pro S, that cost in my country about 360,000 Danish crowns or about $52,000, this will give you a range of 557 kilometers WLTP. The brand spanking new refreshed Model 3 rear-wheel drive, so the most affordable Tesla Model 3 will give you 513 kilometers of WLTP range, so not much different there. And it is of course a bigger car, faster and just better in every single way. But the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive is about $4,200 cheaper than the ID3 Pro S. Or you can go for the long-range Model 3 that has 629 kilometers WLTP range and a 0 to 100 kilometers that is almost twice as fast as the very slow ID3. And of course, much faster charging and all the premium features we have just talked about. The ID3 has a heads-up display, or you get that if you pay even more. But the far superior refreshed Model 3 will only cost about $5,700 more. But as always, to get some of all the features that the Volkswagen is showing off with the ID3, it will cost as much as the long-range Model 3, because you get so much more included with Tesla, but you have to buy all of that extra with the ID3. But the ID3 will still be far inferior to the Model 3 in pretty much every single way possible. But it costs the same. But we have to remember, those two cars are not even in the same segment. The ID3 is a little small hatchback, but it even weighs 200 kilos more than the refreshed Model 3. That really just shows us how poorly the design is for the ID3. And the ID3 has like half the cargo space, as it has no frunk as well, and it is a much smaller car. There is hardly any comparison between these two cars, in my opinion, but the price is pretty much the same. This is getting embarrassing for Volkswagen. Tesla has now made an update and really tried to up their game with the premium interior, so it will become much closer, if not on par, with the premium brands in Germany. But the people's wagon cost as much as the Tesla's premium Model 3. As I said in my review of the ID3 almost 3 years ago, it was a nice little electric vehicle, but too expensive for what you got. And that holds true even more today than 3 years ago. If Volkswagen shouldn't see their sales of the ID.3 plummet now here in Europe, they need to swallow that pride and lower that price. This is getting ridiculous. Otherwise, the ID.3 is dead in my views. And this is before Tesla even comes out with the direct punch at Volkswagen. This was pretty much a punch for BMW, Mercedes and Audi with a more premium built car. But because Volkswagen's EVs are so expensive, it ends up becoming a punch for them as well. But only in 1.5 years from now, the beginning of 2025, Tesla will start production of the next gen smaller compact vehicle. Now that will be a direct punch at Volkswagen. That will cost half to produce for Tesla. So Tesla should be able to make this car for something like $18,000 to $20,000. So for Tesla to sell this car for $25,000 will be no problem. This will even be with a healthy 20% gross margin. And this will be a car that will go down in history as all other affordable cars like the Toyota Yaris or Camry or Volkswagen's Polo and all the others affordable cheap cars is not something legacy automakers has made a lot of money on. The margin on those kind of car is usually razor thin, and Tesla will be able to do that with better margins than BMW has on their more expensive luxury vehicles. And I think that is also why Tesla is trying to level up the premium Model 3 and Model Y within the next couple of years, as they need to differentiate them from the more affordable next-gen vehicle Tesla is coming out with in only a couple of years. But even the more affordable Tesla will still have the big beautiful screen in the middle with Tesla's software. You will probably get a much better electric vehicle than the ID.3, but for $25,000. But in 1.5 years, I will bet you that Tesla's full self-driving version 12 we have just seen has come out of beta and is probably 10 times better than it is today, thanks to the more compute power we are seeing Tesla building up right now, and it only needs more videos to become better. And you will be able to buy that software for your $25,000 Tesla. Let's say for $15,000, and suddenly Tesla will not just make 20% margin on this car, but 50%. This will become an absolutely gold mine for Tesla, and Tesla will make this car in the millions when it's fully ramped, and will be very affordable if you just want an electric car. Or you can choose to get the latest full self-driving software from Tesla, and no matter if it is an autonomous vehicle at that point or just a very capable version of Tesla's vision-based version 12, that would probably be called version 13 or 14 at that point. But you can get that software for your affordable Tesla if you like, or just subscribe to it when you need it, and suddenly Tesla will have almost the full package. If you want to buy a luxury vehicle, you have the Model S and X. If you want some of the best premium car on the market, you can get the 3 and Y. And if you want the world's most multiple purpose vehicle, you can get the Cybertruck. If you just want an affordable electric vehicle, you can get the next gen version. No matter who you are, Tesla will have the electric car for you. They will become the new people's wagon. And I think the refreshed Model 3 and the next gen compact car will spell big trouble for the old Volkswagen, as they will still be on their expensive inferior MEB platform at that point in time in 2025 and 2026, and Tesla will have left them behind in every way possible. I feel kind of bad for Volkswagen, as they are already feeling the competition from Tesla even before the devastating blow in 2025, as Volkswagen EVs are embarrassingly expensive for a company that calls themselves the People's Wagon. That title will truly belong to Tesla in only a couple of years. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.